Hello everyone, how are you? It is Friday again. Yay! Hope your week was great. Um, this is TGIF Art Time, and I am your maker for Close to My Heart, Jackie Bloom, independent maker. And this first thing I wanted to show you was something that my customers have been asking about. So as you can see my big trimmer here. And people keep asking me, how do I make A2 size cards, which is your 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, out of a 12 by 12 piece of paper? So I thought I would show you that. So here is my 12 by 12 piece of paper. And as you can see, just holding it like this, it wants to bend very easily this way and not this way. That is important because as you cut, you're rotating and you're cutting, you're rotating and you're cutting. And if you start off the right way, then when you go to score your cards and fold them, they will fold easily and not crease against the grain, so to say. So when we start, we want to find where that easy to fold is, which is there, and we want to start against it. So this is a hard way to fold it, and it doesn't bend as easily, okay? I'm putting my 12 by 12 in, and I am cutting off 1 inch. So I am cutting it at 11 inches, and that is scrap, okay? And then I'm going to turn it 1 turn, and I am going to put it to 8 1/2. And I am going to cut that off. That is also scrap or layering or punching out or whatever you want to do. Rotate it 1 more time, cut it at 5 1/2, and there are your 2 A2 cards, easy to fold. Score them, fold them, voila. All right, so I am going to show you again for a second here, so that way you can hopefully see these fold lines. And I'm going to take a still picture of this. So again, go against the grain. So in other words, when you fold it like this, it's hard to fold. Cut off 1 inch, rotate it 1 time, cut it off at 8 1/2, rotate it 1 more time, and cut your 5 1/2 to get your 2 cards. So I'll leave that there for a second if you want to do a screenshot. If somebody's around, let me know that you can hear me good. And we will move on to another kind of cut that you can do, okay? So that's the first one. The next one is going to be, pull back in my trimmer. So this one is going to give us a slightly different variation. It's going to give us 2 4 by 5 1/2 cards and 1 4 by 5 1/2 card. I'll show you in a minute. It'll be easier to show you than explain. And again, I believe we go against the grain. Okay, so this way it doesn't fold easily. This way it folds easily. Turn it back to the non-folding. Again, we are going to take 1 inch off. So we're going to put it in our trimmer at 11 inches. Cut off that inch. There's your scratch. Then we are going to turn it and cut it at 4 inches. So this is 4 by 11. And that is going to make our first card this way. So top fold card. Okay. Then we're going to turn it again, and we are going to cut it at 5 1/2, and there's our 2 4 by 5 1/2. So again, I will move this out of the way, and I will put this in here, my little diagram. So we're going against the grain, and we are cutting off 1 inch. Then we are rotating it 1 time, and cutting it at 4 inches. So from here to here is 4 inches. Rotate it once more and cut it at 5.5. Gives us our 2 cards. And here's an extra bonus card. Now remember, these are all 4 inches wide instead of 4.25. Okay? So that's that part for today, and I will take stills of these so that way you have them and add them to the video when I'm done. Alrighty, so on to artwork and what I want to show you today. Okay, alrighty, so I got this pack of card stencils. And they might be a little bit hard to see. Let's use a couple of these. Be careful with your stencils and they'll last you a long time. Be rough with your stencils and you'll be buying more. Alright, and I don't know if you can see this or not. Let's see. Not really. Alright. Well, one of them has I love you all over it. One of them has thank you, and this one is hello, okay? So the first thing I want to show you is that one, you can take the whole stencil, put a piece of cardstock down, and just stencil it. So this is what the hello one looks like. And I'll make up a couple of these so that way you can see what they look like, all 3 patterns. So there's almost the full sheet. You can see it goes around it. There's a little bit more that you could do. So you could cut it. This is just cut to a front of a card, 4.25 by 5.5. So you could go a little bit bigger. I would, if you want to do the whole thing, do a 6 by 6 and then cut down what you want. Okay? So that's the whole thing. And what I wanted to show you was that you can just take sections out. So the first one is just a little strip. It's 1 inch by 4.25, so it would fit across the front of a card. And I'm going to take this hello, and what I want to do is I want just this hello right here. So I've got some washi tape, and I'm going to strategically place those so that way I can get just the hello I want. Now if you're using washi tape, excuse my head, you've got to make it a little bit less sticky so it doesn't rip anything, and you can either lay it on your clothes or lay it on your arm and just keep doing it until it has just a little sticky but not too much that it rips stuff. Alright. So it's important that you get that all on there. I think I'm good. And then remember, it's a little piece of paper, so you want to hold on to it as best you can. I've got my little sponging tool with a little sponge on the end. And I'm going to move this up just a little bit more. And instead of doing this, I want to just pounce. And you can turn it a little bit depending on how, let's see, how thin or how, like this one right here is all cut out, so it doesn't have any parts that's going to lift on you. So there we go. And then you can just lift that up and you've got your hello. I will make a card with this later and put it on the bonus part. But for now, I'm going to take my cleaning rag and I'm just going to turn it over and get most of that off without roughing it up too much. You can see my little H has a little bit of a bend on it, so I just want to keep that straight. And then I'm going to take off my washi tape so I can use it another time. Well, how's your weather, everyone? We don't have rain here today. Not sure if it's going to be raining. just want to make sure I don't have any ink on there that I don't want. So I just put it in between a paper towel and just rub it gently. Okay, looks good. You could also take it and just run it under water. That would be really easy. Alright, so the next one, hopefully you can see this. So I'm going to take just a piece that's 2 by 5.5. And let's say I wanted some thank yous on there. So now I can use the washi tape to hold down my corners of my stencil. Gets a little hard to work with sometimes. Like so. And I can change colors if I want. So let's change colors to mint. And this is pretty light, so hopefully you'll be able to see this. Okay. Some of these letters are really fine and some are thick and chunky. Some have open holes, some don't. So that kind of dictates how much pouncing and color you've got to add. So if it's a more open one, you don't have to add as much, but if it's a thinner one, you kind of want to go over it a little bit more. So that way you get this light color in there. And like I said, just kind of be gentle with them. You can tell which ones have lifty up parts, I guess you would say, and others that don't. Oh, that was jumping. Alright, so see right here, there's a really thin letters. So I'm going to make sure I go over that one a little bit more to make sure I get it in there. There again, just watch what the stencil has on it and kind of look it over good before you pick it up. You can line it back up, but it's best if you don't have to, but it's not impossible. Okay. Sorry. After this, I'll show you some art that I did. And like I said, we'll probably have a bonus one. And hopefully you can see sort of what I'm doing. Hopefully it'll look a little bit darker. That's why I did the black one first. Alright, so now I'm just going back and I'm looking at those really thin letters and giving them just extra smush, if you will. Technical term, you know. Little smushing here and there. Make sure we got everything. Okay, there we go. Close that up. Gonna take our washi off gently. And see how it doesn't even rip my paper? It's because it's been used and used and used. So it still has sticky enough to hold it down, but not enough to rip the paper. Okay. And again, I want to take this and wipe it off gently. Put it in between my paper towel. Kind of dry it. There we go, all nice and clean. And this is what it made. Okay. So there's all different ways that you can use these, right? And the card that I made for you today is this one. So I took a piece and I did thank you. I made sure that this thank you and this thank you was much darker, so that way it would stand out a little bit more. I made a little flower out of the pattern paper. This is just turning this pattern over because it's double-sided. This is lemonade shimmer trim, and I just punched some 1/4-inch holes to add that, and voila. So there isn't a 1, 2, 3 today, but there will be some more later, and I will show you what I do with these. Okay? I hope if you have any questions, let me know. The stencil pack that I used was stencil pack 1. There is 3 different ones, and this one is Z4341. Again, it has the hello template, the thank you template, and the I love you template with a bunch of little hearts, which are really cute, as you can see on here. So you just go and get that heart. Alrighty guys, hope you have a great weekend. I know I will. Going down to see my gals in the south, and I will post some more pictures and give the cardstock cut a try and let me know how it goes for you. And ta-ta for now. See you next week.